we gonna see after that is the Tower of Dreams. Real love bursting out at every seam. That's because the wall's gentle. You see what I'm saying? Now, yeah, that's right. Clue talking about talk about family, talking clue to keeping the family right and good. But more so even to take it a little, not no but exactly, Zanita 67, exactly. And to take it further to deepen your point as well, it is your life. It's your life. What's the first person in your family? Who's the first person in your family? Type in the chat and tell me who the first person in your family is. Because I got a thought on that. Let me see. All right, let me go back over to YouTube real quick because we talking now. We cooking. It sounds like you're right. The first person is you. You ain't got to type it in the chat. First person is you. You can't even step past you. How you like in the mirror. You in the mirror like, where you going? Where you going? Not your cousin, not your mom, not nobody. You. Come back here. Come back here. You see what I'm saying? You. And I'm glad you felt what I was saying because you are your family as well. And this I'm gonna play just a quick brief snippet on something for y'all. Let me see if I can find a good video on it to kind of dig into what I'm saying. Oh, hold on, wait. All right. Okay. All right, there go my man's V-Sauce. Hey, V-Sauce.
The tabs you
That's
open here.
my boy. Watch this.
Are also here.
Check it out.
Hey, Vsauce, Michael
That's my
here,
boy.
and I'm sure that we all love to have fun with hand shadows. But how much does a shadow weigh? It might sound like... Hey, Vsauce, Michael
That's my
here,
boy.
and I'm sure that we all love to have fun with hand shadows. But how much does a shadow weigh? It might sound like a silly question, because it is. I mean, a shadow cannot be put on a scale and weighed, but the material that it falls on top of can be weighed. And we know that light has energy. In fact, when light encounters an object, it pushes that object just a little bit. On the surface of Earth, when sunlight is hitting it, every square inch is being pushed with a force of about a billionth of a pound, which is basically nothing. But over a large enough surface area, the results can be pretty fun. On a sunny day, the city of Chicago weighs 300 pounds more, simply because sunlight is falling on it, pushing it.
Wow.
In outer space, where solar wind isn't filtered by Earth's atmosphere or magnetic field, the results are even bigger. A spacecraft traveling from Earth to Mars would be pushed by light 1,000 kilometers off course. So these things have to be factored into journeys to Mars. We've actually already created things that can sail with light. Giant reflective solar sails that are pushed by the sun's light. So in a way that is calculatable, though difficult to measure, an area covered in shadow technically weighs less than surrounding areas being pushed by light.
Did y'all know that? Now, why take it there, Dan? Now, the reason why I played this video is to give you the contrast between what you see and what you don't see. The contrast between what you see and what you don't see. So now, all the aspects of you being yourself aren't the aspects of what someone else thinks of you when they think of you being yourself. Now, what I mean is, when you go out and you go do your thing, you're still around the general population. But when you in private, you can kind of let loose. You find some people dancing, people singing, you know what I'm saying? All types of things. That is still you. You see what I'm saying? Now, some people do some of these things a little bit more around other people when, you know, they're drinking or they at a party situation, or if they're around that particular person, they be like, all right, cool. I'll still, you know, be a little, and you'll hear it, and that's the statement. I'd be a little bit more of myself. Well, when did you stop, Bob? When did you stop? You know? Like, really think about what I just said. I'm gonna put on some chapstick. Did you stop on Thursday? Did you stop when you got here and saw me? Now, I'm not talking about basic etiquette, like doodling on the floor or pulling your pants off and running around the room. You ain't gonna do that in public. You're not gonna do that around people. But when you by yourself, you might like to do that. You might like to doodle on your floor or pull your pants off and run around the room. You might like to do that. That's still you. And it's a whole host of things I can name. That's still you. But we not talking about that. We're talking about simple things when you around friends, when you're around acquaintances that can never stop being themselves either, whatever word. And you just may cut off some of these things, like all right, we don't need hot water because we drinking something right now. We want cold water. We don't want to drink hot water, so we're gonna turn off the hot side. You see what I'm saying? You may turn off that side of you that you don't want to be, you know, and that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly normal. You're still yourself in that instant. But let's say that thing that you turning off is one of the things that helps you to shine. You might not want to shine in this moment. All right, that's perfectly fine because apparently, you weigh more in the light. You might not want to be so heavy. You might not want to shine so much heaviness down upon people. You know what I'm saying? Being a little heavy. But I just can call so many contrasts to what it is I'm talking about when it comes to being yourself and trying to give you the motivation for being yourself, and also trying to fix my work shirt this entire time. It's part of it, y'all. Just bear with me. It's all part of the episode. That's why I'm being funny about it. But anyway, let's move on. I think we've got a pretty good bead on this thing right here. Around people, it may be the reserve you. We have many different personalities of us, given the situation, circumstances, and people. Now, thank you, Zanita67. You are the fuel to this conversation we're trying to have right now. Hold on, y'all. We're going to take a quick pause break. Y'all listen to this.
CDs for just $16.99.
Call 1-800-818-6806 to order the Ultimate Love Songs collection on 2 CDs for $16.99 plus shipping and handling when you use your credit card. Call now or order online at timelife.com.
Oh, not tonight, sweetie. You've had chef every night this week.
Oh, yeah.
But I love Chef.
Oh, that Chef Boyardee commercial. I love Chef. All right, I fixed my work shirt situation. Yeah, real fast. Anyway, it don't have my expansion pack logo down there, and that's so heartbreaking. But all right, so like I was saying, so now I got to give y'all a disclaimer on the last part and last conclusion. Last part of the conclusion of this episode 181 of Expansion Pack, and being mindful on this Monday, because I want to teach, not teach as in the sense of I know more than you, but teach in the sense of reach, like we can lift each other up together. I'm not up here, you're not down there, we're down here together, and put your foot in my hand. Put your foot in my hand, I'ma toss you up there. Can you pull me up, sir? Can you pull me up? Will you pull me up after that? It's what I'm trying to do here. All right, so with that being said, I gave you the disclaimer. Now, what we have defined here is a sort of flaw in being yourself. Now, in the traditional sense, you will never, ever, ever Hey, welcome to another episode of Expansion Pack. I'm your host, Dan F. Man. It's good to be back in here with y'all on another Healthy Mental Thursday. I know you missed me yesterday, but it ain't, don't worry about it. You understand? So, what we gonna do here is, let me put a stream marker. Let me put down that little marker. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to make sure I got all of the good stuff in here for y'all. All right, introduction. What we're going to do here is I'm going to let y'all know what the topic is for the day, and then we're going to keep it pushing on past that and get y'all into y'all motivation, because I know y'all need it, man. I need some for the day, too. Look at that bump right there. I'm going to squeeze that later. All right, so we keeping it simple today. That's all we doing for today. We just keeping it simple, and we're going to move right along on into this thing. Be mindful. I want to let everybody know that I will be taking one more week off to get everything fully restructured for us to go back to school here. That will start on the 4th of August. So for this week, we have another week of Expansion Pack. And then we got one more week after that. And then I'm going to take me another break from the 4th until the 18th. No, that's two. Is that 2 weeks? It's gonna be at least a week because I gotta break down all of my equipment and rebuild it back up. But hey, I'll get back to y'all on that. Let's get straight into the motivation, people. Let's get some motivation for y'all. So y'all know motivation for love. For love and relationships. Yeah, I think we're gonna go here.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform made for anyone with an idea and a drive to bring it to life.
How much do you love yourself? Because if you understand the value of self-love, you'll never be friends with those type of people. Most of the people out here are running around empty. They have no sense of self, no sense of self-love. When I say self-love, it has nothing to do with celebrity, money, materialistic things, and all of the things that your negative mind could probably go to. Has nothing to do with self-love, has nothing to do with looks, nothing to do with cars and any of the superficial things that one would assume that could make you love yourself even more. It's a matter of knowing your value. It's a matter of you saying, I don't have to be around these people in these type of environments and situations in order for me to finally see the value in myself. I love me independent of you loving me. I believe in me. I know my self-worth. I am here and I have a purpose. There is no value in having wisdom, knowledge, insight, spirituality, love. Every day I am a work in progress.
A person who can forgive nothing is a person who's totally destroyed psychologically and emotionally. Forgive your parents. Forgive any relationship that you ever had that didn't work out. Forgive everyone else in your life that has ever hurt you in any way. Forgive yourself.
Forgiveness is giving up the hope that the past could be any different. I think for myself, and I know many of you, you think forgiving means accepting what has happened to you. Well, it is accepting that it has happened to you. Not accepting that it was okay for it to happen. It is accepting that it has happened, and now what do I do about it? Forgiving is giving up the hope, not holding on, hoping, wishing that it could have been any other way than it actually was. Giving up the hope that the past could be any different.
Yes.
And when I got that, I think it took me to the next level of being a better person, because I don't hold grudges for anything or any situation, and neither should you. It's letting go so that the past does not hold you prisoner, does not hold you hostage.
Yes, Lord. Yes.
See, life is cyclic. You're not, whatever experience you're having right now, it has not come to stay. It has come to pass. Not to stay, just to pass. It's just going through. The biggest challenge is to know what's happening. This is a part of this thing we call life. This too shall pass. And maintaining perspective, putting it in perspective.
You have to be willing to break from the past to have the future you so desperately desire. You have to have the courage to allow yourself to honor the past as it was, to forgive those who need to be forgiven, to forgive yourself, and to acknowledge that everything led you to this point now. Everything.
Let it go and begin to focus on developing myself. And I say to you, you're going to have people to do things to you. Things are going to happen to you. And the most important thing to do is to harness your will and let it go and move so you can grow, so you can get on with your life.
Yes. I think that's what we needed to hear, about as much of that as we needed to hear, y'all, so we can get our day going on up in here. So we just keeping it simple today. Let me talk to you for a quick couple of seconds. We just keeping it simple today here on Healthy Mental Thursday. I don't want to do too much, be too strong on you. You know what I'm saying? I just want to keep it simple. So how does that look mentally? Well, I know for me, I go from task to task to task, to thing to thing to thing. Sometimes I may linger on a thing I feel too long, and then I can't go to what the next task is because I've spent so much time on that one thing. So for me, keeping it simple mentally is focusing on that one thing until it's done. Because what's going to happen to me is I'm going to be talking to you, and then I'll be like, oh, I want to eat my banana. So I'm going to start eating my banana. And then I'm going to be like, oh, well, I want to go and put on another video. So then I start putting on another video. But really, I should just be sitting and talking to you. So let's look at some simple ways to stay clear. Simple ways of mental clarity. Let's see what we got going here. I don't never go to shorts, so let's go to shorts for 1 second.
5 powerful lessons to clear your mind. 1. Let go of what you can't control. Acceptance is the first step to inner peace. 2. Practice mindfulness. Be present in the moment, breathe deeply, and focus on the now. 3. Simplify your thoughts. Let go of unnecessary worries and focus on what truly matters. 4. Embrace silence. Take time each day to sit in silence. It's in the quiet that clarity is found. 5. Cultivate gratitude. Shift your mindset to gratitude. It lightens your mental load and brings peace. Clear your mind. Find your peace.
Yes. Yes, sir. Let's see what Bri had to say.
But one of the things that you hear very often is that some people like being fasted because they like the clarity of mind that it provides. Here's the situation. Neurons, unless you're in a ketogenic diet, really thrive on glucose. They love glucose. And as I mentioned before, your ability to think and perceive things is actually enhanced by having sufficient glucose in your bloodstream. So why would it be that some people experience a heightened state of mental clarity when they are fasted? I've certainly experienced that before. Well, I should say that provided you're well hydrated enough and you have enough electrolytes in your system, what tends to happen is that when you ingest food, there's a shift in your nervous system towards so-called parasympathetic mode. That is, the more relaxed, you probably heard it as rest and digest, although it doesn't. But one of the
we didn't get all of that. We didn't get to hear the whole message because it's just a YouTube short and they cut us off. All right, let's get something else in here real quick. I need something nice and simple. Let's go. Sleepy Charlie.
Guys, UMGC is...
I like to go to the people who actually just speaking their mind.
One single wall between you and... There's really just one single wall between you and the life you know you want to live, and that's your mindset. And I'm going to share one with you that kind of changed my life immediately. Trust me, I know how you feel. I know you're sick of it.
We've seen this before.
You're sick of knowing that you have these big goals and dreams, and yet you don't know how you're going to reach them. And it kind of feels like you're just wasting all your potential. So ultimately, you do nothing, because the more you think about it all, the more overwhelming and honestly impossible it all sounds. But what if I told you that it really wasn't that hard, and in reality, you can change your life as soon as tomorrow? In late December of 2023, I decided I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I can't sit here and continue to feel miserable and empty while I wait for my life to change for me. But then I fell into the same old trap as I'm sure you have. I start to overthink and I start to get overwhelmed. I would think about how long it would take and just how much work I would actually have to put in to make a difference in my life. And then I reached my phone to open Instagram for like the 30th time today. But then it dawned on me. I recalled a piece of advice I was given a while back. By who? I have no idea. It was probably my mom though. Thanks, Mom. But the advice
Good,
goes,
Malik.
just
Good to
take
have you
one
in here.
step every day. When you think of your goal or dream, don't look at the entire mountain you're about to climb. Just find where you're going to put your foot next.
Yes, sir.
It doesn't need to be complicated. It's easy to get overwhelmed by your big goals and dreams, but if you just think, just one step today and I'm done, it makes things a whole lot easier. And if you still need a little bit of extra motivation, just remember that the pain of doing nothing will always be worse than the pain of doing something. Because sure, taking steps can be uncomfortable and intimidating and scary, but it will always be better than the alternative. The slow, never-ending subconscious discomfort of remaining dormant will always be worse than the temporary and voluntary discomfort of making a change. Maybe some days you'll feel an extra bit of motivation and you decide to take 3 steps instead of just 1. That's great. And maybe some days you're really just not feeling it, but you just remind yourself, just a small step today. That's fine too. What matters is that you move forward, even if it was just a little bit. These steps add up, and before you know it, you'll be able to see the top of that mountain just a little bit clearer than before. And when I say that this changed my life immediately, I mean it, because while before I wasn't moving forward, now I am. One step at a time, one day at a time.
Hey.
Currently, while I'm writing this,
Couldn't miss my favorite streamer, you feel me, bro? Yes, sir. Appreciate you, bro. Hope you're getting something out of this. We got a couple more minutes on this video, and then I'm going to do a little bit of talking.
it is February 13th, and I find that I've been working on something every day since the new year, as I just keep reminding myself, just take one step today. And as a result, I have instantly changed my life. Maybe not in a substantial way, like I didn't just become instantly successful or anything, but now I've given myself some sort of purpose with each day, and I'm slowly but surely moving forward. You must change your life in order to change your life. Make that small change. Do it once every day, and eventually you'll realize that you've made a bigger change than you could have ever imagined.
Hey, I don't know about y'all, but just the visuals in that video was epic for me. Like him walking across the bridge, him standing on this hill right now. But besides that, now with the new format that I'm going with the show, I been trying not to play the whole videos through, but this right here, man. And I think we've seen this before. Let me go ahead and sub and put this on the, and save it just so I don't come back across it again without knowing. The message in it of just taking the one step is what we need. It's simple. Now, big projects gonna require you to do a lot of work, but in order to scale that work in a way where you can manage it, look at it step by step. Now, I have some big projects that I've been working on, getting the channels together, emotes, little images, little stuff, you know what I'm saying? All this stuff. And, you know, I do a little bit every single day. And I was sitting here like, man, I'm not moving fast enough. I'm not moving fast enough. Look back at my calendar, and then I'm like, dang, well, I got to do this. I still got to do that. And, oh, man, I'm not done with that. And so this video really just brought it home for me to say, hey, you are doing one step at a time, one step at a time, one step at a time. All right, so let me check. I just got a thought in my head. It ain't got nothing to do with the show, but I'm going to follow it through. I'm going to execute because I want to see. All right, so let's keep on moving on. Let's just keep looking at. I want to see something. Well, never mind. I just stay with mental clarity. All right, let's go. I'm gonna scroll down a bit for this one.
Hitting your goals has nothing to do with.
All right, let's see what's up. See some more mental clarity.
By Wondrium. Click the link in the description to get your free trial.
All right, let's go.
A person can never reach their fullest potential. Instead, one will always remain incomplete, fractured. In the unconscious half, they repress themselves. An image forms. So to escape this uncomfortableness, they divide themselves into two halves, conscious and unconscious. In the conscious half, they construct an ideal image of themselves. An image formed out of the bits and pieces of their past that they deem as good and acceptable. And as a result, in the unconscious half...
We've seen this one too. Boom. There you go. So we're not going to watch this one. Hold on. See, that's how I know. I be knowing. How I scroll all the way down and still pick one that we done seen before. All right, hold on. Well, hold on. Simple. Let's take it easy real quick. Simple hacks. Maybe it's stuff we never knew about that can just ease our mind right now.
Forgot to put your drink in the fridge.
Tie these thin straps together.
Right,
on the other side. The arc should be under your chin, and the two ends should look back. Your neck will feel much more comfortable in this position, and you'll get a great nap. Your ceiling fan has two modes, for winter and summer. You need to find the switch on your fan. Switch up to start winter mode, or down for summer mode. In summer mode, the fan pushes the air down, and it sucks the air up in winter mode. According to the rules of etiquette, you must first let those who leave the room, building, elevator out, and only then can you enter. First, they come out, then you come in. If you're inside, then you come out first. This simple rule will help to avoid a collision. In restaurants and cafes, toothpicks are always on the table. Most people use them incorrectly when they pick their teeth immediately after eating. The correct and cultured way is to go into the restroom and carefully pull out all the food leftovers from your mouth.
Okay.
Here's the right way to tie a garbage bag without making this little hole on the top.
Let me see.
Don't tie these thin straps together. Hold them up, make a knot, wrap them around the knot through the loop, and here you have a good tight seal. To properly dry your sneakers in the dryer, you need to tie the laces together. Then put the sneakers inside the dryer, but leave the laces' tips sticking out. Close the lid so that it clamps the shoelaces. Done! Wired
that work for
headphones
real?
fit much better in
Let me
your
see
ear
this
if you
last
put
one.
them on in a way when the tips with the wire direct up. Then the wire can be put around the auricle, so your headphones will not fall out of the ear.
Yeah, but ain't nobody wearing them on wired headphones. All right, that was just to ease our mind. All right, here we go. Hey, appreciate your street server. SL Street Server. Appreciate you, bro. All right, here we go. Huh? Hey, what's good, Motion Man? So right now we just keeping it simple. I heard y'all. We just keeping it simple. It's healthy mental Thursday, and we just trying to keep it simple. Right now, I was just looking at some hacks to try to take our mind about what it is we be going through in a day. But I'm about to move on from that. So the reason I jumped onto that topic anyway, or that little piece, is because let's say you, I don't know, going through a lot in your day. This happened, that happened. You're feeling the pressure, you're feeling the stress. Little stuff like that, just seeing those simple hacks sometimes can just kind of make you feel better. Anyway, now I want to look at anatomy. Anatomy of stress. I probably spelled anatomy wrong. All right, y'all, let's go.
As a therapist myself, I know how important it is to be able to have someone that you can talk to about your problems, to bounce ideas off of.
All right, here we go.
Stress is the body's response to a physical pressure such as illness or injury, or a psychological pressure such as fear or anxiety. In the short term, the stress response is adaptive. It helps the body fight, cope with, or flee the stressor. Chronic stress, however, is maladaptive and may become detrimental to the body's normal functions. Stress response is mediated mainly by the sympathetic nervous system and the endocrine system. It occurs in 3 stages of the so-called general adaptation syndrome. Stage 1, alarm reaction. Upon perceiving the stressor, the body produces a fast fight or flight response via the activation of the sympathetic nervous system, the SNS. SNS activation results in an immediate release of the neurotransmitter norepinephrine from sympathetic nerves, and shortly after, the secretion of epinephrine and norepinephrine as hormones from the adrenal medulla.
So, if you ever wonder, if you ever come to my channel and you watching Expansion Pack and you see me pull up a video like this is the reason why. So, I run up on you. I'm like, hey, shut the hell up. Give me anything you got. You know what I'm saying, guys? I mean, jammed it in your face. All this stuff is happening to you right now. The sympathetic nervous system, sympathetic adrenal medulla, the SAM axis, all that stuff is being triggered. And it's releasing the neuroepinephrine and the epinephrine. And you like, yo, I'm going to either punch him or I'm going to run from him. All right. And so in a more simpler version of what I just said, I do what I just said, or somebody does what they just said, or you get into that moment where you're fearful or you have to defend yourself, and you either feel scared or you fight back. And so it's with this illustration and with this visual or with this knowledge right here, you can see the inside of the system of what's happening. Now, why should you care? Maybe you can control it. Maybe having the knowledge of this, you can put some sort of counteractive feeling towards some of it, or some proactive feeling towards some of it. Maybe, and what I mean is, if I'm using too many big words on you, what I mean is, if you're in a situation where you have to get away, you can put in knowing this information and knowing what your body is doing, you might can get away better, or you might can turn and defend yourself better. It's the little bit of conscious focus on knowing what's happening in the process. and vice versa, or whatever else you want to say. So if you ever come to the channel when I'm playing a video like this is why. The education and the knowledge about these systems and about yourself is the reason why we doing this. All right, let me get a little bit more of this.
These substances increase cardiac catabolism of glycogen to glucose. In the muscles, it acts to reduce glucose uptake and consumption, and increase degradation of muscle proteins into amino acids, which can then be used to synthesize glucose, fats, or generate energy. In adipose tissue...
All right, hold on. I think I skipped too far. All right, so we're going to skip past that and we're going to get one more. Simple ways to calm down. Calm down. Calm down. All right, let's go.
Why did Amazon send me $20,000? Because I use Amazon AI. I'm going to show you a way to...
If you're currently feeling anxious right now and searching how to calm down anxiety and how to calm down your mind, well, you've come to the right place. I'm going to teach you 2 incredibly helpful breathing techniques that I teach my patients all the time. So sit back, relax, and let's dive in. Okay, so our first technique involves simple breathing exercises. So first of all, we're going to make ourselves comfortable. If you're sat down, sit back, relax, and if you've got armrests, put your arms on the armrests so they're nice and relaxed. If you want to stand up, make sure you're standing upright, nice and straight, and feet flat on the floor. If you're lying down, that's completely fine as well. Lie on your back, arms by your sides, and palms facing upwards. Easy as that. Okay, so before we begin, take a moment to adjust yourself, be present in the moment, and if you're wearing anything tight and constrictive, take it off. So for example, if you're wearing a tie or a belt, just open it up so you're nice and comfortable. Okay, so now that you're comfortable, we're gonna dive into step 1 of the breathing exercise. Step 1 is very simple. You're gonna count to 5 in your head. I like to do that as it just helps me concentrate more on the breathing. And you're gonna breathe in for step 1 through your nose, nice and relaxed, nothing forceful, just a nice relaxed inspiration. So breathing in, okay? Just like so. Okay, 5 seconds we take it in. We don't need to hold our breath for it or anything like that. And we're gonna move straight to step 2, where we breathe out of our mouth this time, again for 5 seconds, nothing forced, so nice and gentle like so. 5 seconds. Easy as that. And we're just going to constantly cycle step 1, 2, and keep cycling it. Now, whilst you're doing this, remember to stay calm and reassure yourself that this panic attack or this anxiety attack, it is going to pass, okay? And it's just your mind that's creating these symptoms.
I like that. That's going to bring me down to my next point. Then we're going to round, well, nah, it's only 9:30. Hey, we still going strong. So why is it? So first of all, we look at the anatomy of the stress, and the stress that you're feeling consciously is coming from the neural chemicals that are being released into your body. All right, the chemicals, not neurochemicals, the chemicals that are being released into your body, neuroepinephrine, epinephrine, all of that good stuff. That's the reason why you feel anxious, nervous, you know, because those are the chemicals that are being released. Now, in this video, we see he is, hold on, wait, I don't want to say he, Abraham, the pharmacist. Let me sub him up, you know what I'm saying? Is showing us a technique to help calm us down. And it's something pretty much that all of us know. It's simple. Breathing. So I showed you the anatomy of the stress and how, you know, your heart rate increases and you get certain chemicals released into your bloodstream, and it gives you that feeling of fight, flight, whatever, or whichever. Now, the way to focus while those chemicals are being released is breathing. So let's see what breathing does. How does breathing calm? Yep, you down, you got it. And my people right there, they be knowing what be thinking. Oh, they know what I'm thinking.
My name is Julia. I'm the CEO of Hello Prenup and Massachusetts Family Law Attorney. Hello Prenup is the first digital...
Breathing is something we all do every day and perhaps take for granted. But consciously paying attention to our breath and practicing deeper, controlled breathing, something that is taught in meditation, can help us in a variety of ways, from helping regulate blood pressure to boosting our mood. Hi, and welcome to Headspace. I'm Dr. Yewande Pierce. I'm a neuroscience researcher who studies the many different functions of the brain. Today, we'll be talking about the science of breathing and how it impacts your brain and body. Let's get started. So what exactly is breathing? It starts with the air around us, which contains nitrogen, carbon dioxide, and oxygen. Oxygen being the most important one because we need it to survive. To breathe, air gets sucked through your nose or mouth and then travels through the trachea and into your lungs, which expand. The air then reaches air sacs, where oxygen is passed into the bloodstream. So while breathing is the physical process of taking in and expelling air, respiration is the chemical process in which we use oxygen to generate actual energy. Meanwhile, carbon dioxide...
So, look, I don't be paying attention in biology class because I don't be really feeling it. So, but I am fascinated by biology now because I'm so far behind. So breathing is the physical process in which we take in air from our surroundings, air being oxygen, nitrogen, and all of the other stuff that the gens that they got up in there. Okay. Respiration, however, is the chemical process of converting that air into the O2 that we need. I'm going to tell you right here. Let me go to the big screen before I jump back into this video. I'm going to tell you right here and right now, I ain't been getting enough good respiration. And respiration is the chemical process of changing that air that I'm taking in through the physical process into those chemicals that I need for my body to do. I've been respirating about 50% of the day. And so I'm behind. Imagine being out of breath all the time is what I'm saying. Let me get back into the video. Y'all ain't feeling me. Y'all ain't feeling me. You ain't hearing it. You ain't hearing it.
Is released and goes to generate actual energy. Breathing is the physical process of taking in and expelling air. Respiration is the chemical process in which we use oxygen to generate actual energy. Meanwhile, carbon dioxide is released and goes from the bloodstream and into the air sacs, which is then expelled from the body when you exhale. The average person repeats this entire process between 17,000 to 24,000 times a day. We usually don't even think about breathing because it happens automatically thanks to our body's autonomic nervous system. When you're faced with a difficult challenge, whether psychological or physical, your sympathetic nervous system, one branch of the autonomic nervous system, gets triggered. The sympathetic nervous system prepares your body for action, that fight or flight response, which makes your heart beat faster and opens up your airways so you can breathe more easily and take in more oxygen. However, how we breathe can actually trigger this fight or flight response. For example, when you're feeling nervous or anxious, you tend to tense up and your breathing can start to become more rapid and shallow, known as hyperventilation. You may even hold your breath. If we're breathing under stress over long periods of time, cells in the brain and the body don't get the oxygen they need and can't work as efficiently.
Exactly, and I just said
the brain is an organ with one of the highest oxygen and glucose requirements. Therefore, this sort of hypoxic state can cause problems with brain cognition, making it harder to focus. Think of freezing up before a presentation. This is why in stressful situations, people are often told to slow down and take a deep breath. So even though breathing happens automatically without us even having to think about it, we can override that to control our breathing voluntarily. This means that we can control the quality of our breathing. Changing the air pressure inside the lungs is one of the main ways we can alter breathing and increase oxygen levels. For example, Slowing down the breath and taking deep breaths into your diaphragm increases the pressure of oxygen in the air sacs, making it easier for oxygen molecules to move into the blood via the capillaries. Increasing oxygen levels activates the rest and digest branch of the autonomic nervous system, called the parasympathetic nervous system. Activating the parasympathetic nervous system creates a sense of mental calmness and counteracts the effects of stress and the stress hormone cortisol.
Listen to me again now. Hold on, let me put it on my screen. It's a special screen. Y'all don't see the screen all the time. Listen to me now. Listen to me now. I ain't trying to do nothing here, man. I ain't trying to do nothing crazy. I ain't trying to do nothing that's over the top. All I'm doing is educating myself. Now, it's certain pieces that I feel I've been missing, I've gone without, I pushed to the side. And this bit of information right here is that information. We moved so far into our life. You worried about eating for the day. You worried about drinking something. You worried about a little smoke, going out. You worried about feeding your kids, cooking them. We worried about so many things. Now let me switch to my screen. But are we worried about breathing? Instantly, you can increase the quality of your life if you increase the quality of the breath that you take in. I'm out of here, man. Y'all ain't hearing me. Y'all ain't hearing me.
There have been numerous studies on how breathing patterns reflect emotions, because emotions and the way that the body responds are very interlinked. So typically, if you're feeling angry or stressed, your breathing will be more shallow and rapid. On the other hand, if you're feeling content and happy, your breathing will be deeper and slower. However, research has shown that controlled breathing can in turn also impact our emotional state. While emotions are complex and often overlapping, new research has shown some promising evidence for how changing your breathing could actually actively influence brain activity associated with perception, cognition, behavior, and emotion. It's important to note that there are many different techniques of deep breathing, so find one that works for you. Deep breathing may also not be suitable for those who experience shortness of breath, anxiety or panic attacks, or have heart conditions. So please practice mindfully and consult with a healthcare professional if you have any questions. I'm Dr. Yolande Pierce, and thank you very much for watching.
Thank you, Dr. Pierce. How do you spell technique? I don't know how to spell. Thank you, Dr. Pierce. I'm definitely gonna like this and add this, because we done found our root, y'all. We done found our root. Let me spam that in the chat real quick. Wherever the chat at. Let me see where that chat. Where that chat at? Where that chat at? We done found our root for the day. Let me see. Yep. So, yeah, let me spam that in the chat. So the reason why I'm saying that and that I feel like I done found my root for the day is because I look for, keeping it simple. I look for simple before I look for complicated. I can take the most complicated thing in my life, which is me, I feel, and I can feel better about it by looking at it simply. When I was making beats, I found that I was told that simple was better. And then upon investigation of how to make beats and making beats on my own, I found out simple is better. My bad, y'all. Simple is better. A quick little hey. Get it every time. You see what I'm saying? And so bringing our point back home, we go out and we look for different food to change our life. We look for bigger house. We look for different people in our life, women, men, all different types of things in our lives, right? Breathing. Regulate your breathing. You in that stressful situation, regulate your breathing. You real happy, regulate your breathing so you can get the most out of it. Regulate you. You tired and you need to go a little bit longer on this run, regulate your breathing. It's the most basic form of any energy absorption. I can't believe I just learned all of that in that last 2 seconds because I wasn't looking at it like that. So let me see something real quick before we get on up out of here. Respiration. How does respiration give you energy? That's all we doing here on Expansion Pack, y'all, is just learning the same we should have already had known. You feel me? Why it's not good to sleep under a tree at night. Oh, this is good. Hey, look, y'all going through a biology lesson with me. I already told y'all how I feel about biology. So, yeah.
Every organism needs energy to survive. For human beings, food is the source of energy, and it requires oxygen to release this energy. Respiration is the process by which the body obtains and utilizes oxygen to produce energy inside a human's body. There are 3 steps of respiration in humans. Breathing is the process of moving air into and out of the lungs to facilitate gas exchange with the internal environment. This brings in oxygen from the air and flushes out carbon dioxide. Internal respiration is the exchange of substances between blood and cells, whereas cellular respiration is the release of energy from food substances in living cells. Today, we will discuss cellular respiration only. Cellular respiration. There are 2 kinds of cellular respiration, aerobic and anaerobic. Aerobic respiration is the process by which oxygen-breathing creatures turn fuel, such as fats or sugars, into energy by the help of oxygen. The key organelle inside cells of aerobic respiration is the mitochondria, where the glucose molecule from the food goes through a multi-step process, such as glycolysis, Krebs cycle, and electron transport chain. At the end of this multi-step process, 1 molecule of glucose, with the help of 6 molecules of oxygen, can produce 36 molecules of adenosine triphosphate, or ATP, along with 6 carbon dioxide molecules and 6 water molecules. This makes aerobic respiration a very efficient process.
Right.
All multicellular organisms and some yeast can carry this type of respiration. Aerobic respiration is needed by many processes in our body to run properly. Muscle contraction, such as in limbs, cardiac, and peristaltic motion, need the ATP generated through respiration as their fuel. Formation of peptide bonds in protein synthesis, the synthesis of chromosome and cell membranes, cell division in growth, transmission of nerve impulse along the axon by transporting sodium ions in and out of the membrane, and regulation of body temperature are all powered by the aerobic respiration. The examples of anaerobic respiration are alcoholic fermentation, lactic acid fermentation, and process rigorous muscular activity. Alcoholic fermentation is carried out in plants and some yeast, Saccharomyces cerevisiae, which sugar is broken down to release energy. 1 molecule of glucose turns into 2 ethanol, 2 carbon dioxide, and energy of 2 ATP is released. This process is an economically important process that is used in bread making and brewing beer and wine. Some bacteria, such as Lactobacillus bulgaricus, cause milk to turn sour and form yogurt. The bacteria feed on sugar, which is then converted into lactic acid and energy. This energy is also equivalent to 2 ATP. The bacteria turn glucose into 2 lactic acid and energy of 2 ATP. In human beings, during strenuous activity, breathing is not able to provide sufficient oxygen for respiration. Muscles experience a shortage of oxygen, so the aerobic process becomes anaerobic. This change causes formation of lactic acid. Accumulation of lactic acid causes muscular cramps and fatigue as a safety measure to protect the muscle cells. Rapid breathing after the activity helps to repay debt by increasing oxygen in the muscles, thus converting the process back to aerobic.
So I knew about some of this stuff, some of that from class, like I said, but the part that is still the biggest thing to me is the energy conversion. We know how important energy is. If your phone go dead, you looking for an outlet. You looking for some energy. But we not looking at ourselves as producers of energy. We consume energy, whereas I'm like, I gotta go do this and it's gonna take some energy for me to do it. I'm sleepy now after, and I gotta recharge. But we don't look at ourselves as producers of the energy that we're actually consuming. For example, if you were to drink a Red Bull, your body is about to produce more energy and you're going to consume that energy. Whereas if you didn't drink a Red Bull, your body still is going to produce that energy and consume that energy. The energy never came from the Red Bull. The energy still is being manufactured inside of you. That Red Bull can sit there all day. We could put it inside or something, and if it don't got the same properties as inside your body, it ain't gonna produce nothing. It'll sum up probably. You know what I'm saying? You put it in the engine, it's gonna tear it down. You see? Look at Dan. Look at my boy. Then put it down. Yes, sir. Thank you, son. I'm gonna put it on the board. So I'm just looking at it from the perspective of energy production. Energy being produced straight like that inside of you, inside of your body through breathing. Now, if that ain't as simple as we can get, I don't know what else y'all want me to tell you now. All right. So we're going to go ahead and say that's the conclusion for today on mental health, Healthy Mental Thursday, is that you need to breathe more. Conclusion, breathe more. Sit still and breathe. Walk and breathe. Talk and breathe. Breathe. You feel what I'm saying? Because that is directly increasing your amount of energy production. Straight up. And I think I solved one of my issues of falling asleep. I ain't getting enough energy production. My cells are having to go into an anaerobic process and they producing lactic acid, which is making me tired it's making me tired, which I'm going to sleep, which starts the process over again technically, because my body has to regulate uncontrolled by my conscious the amount of oxygen that I'm taking in to be able to complete those energy conversions. So for me, the cure simply is to sit mindfully and breathe. What that does is it increases so much oxygen in my body that I can produce all of the energy that I have in my body. I got a lot of energy. I ain't breathing enough, so I ain't getting the oxygen in there enough that help these energy conversions. So my body building up with carbon dioxide, and then the carbon dioxide can't get out because I ain't breathing. So the body got to do something. So go into this anaerobic process, and next thing you know, I'm all right. So I broke it down. I got the science behind it in my own mind. Y'all can tell me whatever, but I got to follow me. And if you tune in here, just think about some of these things for yourself. Don't shoot the messenger. Just get the message, goddamn. You ain't gonna shoot at the mailman, you know what I'm saying, because he left somebody else's mail in your mailbox. You just gonna return it to sender, and he can come pick it back up today. You be running behind him talking about, man, you gave me somebody else's mail. You gave me a bad message. I don't want these bills. Mailman gonna be like, I got bills. I drop bills at my house. Not just yours. All right. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and round this episode out for today. This has been another episode of Expansion Pack. I'm your host, Dan F. Man. It's good to be in here with y'all because if you go back and you watch these episodes, cool. We do what it do. You know what I'm saying? But when I go back and watch these episodes, it's me in them, and I'm really, really seeing some major growth. So I'm gonna spam the growth emote in the chat real quick as I get on up out of here. Not rooted, but growth for the day. And y'all can catch me tomorrow on Fun Friday. We're gonna have some fun. This is DGTA TV. All right, y'all. Peace. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Let me know. All right. So, yeah, it just kicked me off of everything. I don't know. I be doing too much, apparently. All right. Let me get it back. Have a reserve.
All right, there you go.
Now, you do have a reserved spot in my heart if you are family. Now, if I meet you and you are a new person, then yeah, I file you as new person and you get this, and that. If you are a friend I've known for, all right, good to have you back in here. All right, hopefully that won't happen again. If you are a friend and I, know you get this spot, but family is this spot. So that's what we're gonna say. So let's say, for instance, I get into an argument with my kids, right? They will get a different treatment as if I was to get into an argument with my friend. If I get in an argument with my friend, it's more so based on, do I want to keep this friend or do I want to lose this friend? And do I want to grow with this friend or do I want to destroy the relationship with this friend? You see what I'm saying? And we know, if you've dealt with me, you know the lever is more closely all the time pushed to growing with this person, this friend.
That's my man.
All right? But when it's family,
that's my boy right there.
When it's family, it's a whole different set of rules. So it's more so based on, do I want to interact, period, with this person? Because I've seen such a long-term effect of my actions on the growth of my family that it's like, yo, I think I need to see less interaction to see how I would grow.
Yes, sir.
As opposed to giving more and more and more and more and more. Now, my kids is different, but for family members, I think less interaction sometimes seeds their growth more than the interaction that I've been given over these last couple of years. But that spot in my heart is still reserved for them. So let's say, for example, I got in an argument with my mom.
This is good. I like them.
I'm not just going, it's going to be based on, here's the rules of it. It's going to be based on, can we grow from this conversation? Because conversation with somebody you've been talking to for 30 years doesn't sound like, what did you eat for breakfast every single day? Somebody you've been talking to for 30 years sounds like, dog, move over.
Right.
You too close. As opposed to, hey, can you slide over? With somebody you ain't known for that long. Hey, can you slide over just to taste?
What?
Dog, I've been talking to you for 30 years. You know that this is my side. Get out of here. And you know that causes all kind of friction.
Right.
With people. When you approach and you talk to people like that. Now, let's say my child, you see what I'm saying? That I've been talking to for the last 10 years won't wake up. Bruh. Okay, I'll give you a better example. And then I come back to that example. Because I like that. My friend, my best friend that I've known for...
I'm sorry, but I'm about to listen to this some more.
2008. That's 8. 17, he didn't wake up for class. At that point, I only had known him for about a year. Not even a year. Probably like some months. Maybe a school semester. And he... Because I've been talking to you for 10 years. You see what I'm saying? So, for me, the treatment of
that whole
the
thing
treatment
got
of
mixed
my
up.
family, and we know these things. It's common. It's a sort of common sense, but it's not when you start to get into foreign territory. So 30 years with my mom hasn't been 30 years of adulthood. 15 of those years I was going through adolescence. You see what I'm saying? And childhood and all of those words that you can put onto that. And then for another 15 years, I'm just getting used to trying to take care of myself and get my ass clean. You see what I'm saying? So talking to me has been
maniac.
all over
Yo,
the
what's
place.
good,
Maybe
Motion
the next
Man?
30
I'm just
will
sitting
be
here
a little bit better because
taking a look at some
I'm
old
in a
episodes,
more,
man.
Familiar territory for her. Not for me necessarily because it's still unfamiliar, but she can see through my actions some of the stuff that I'm trying to kind of figure out, so the conversation will change. But it's still conversation with somebody that I've been talking with for a number of years. I don't know what's up with my connections, y'all. I hope everybody's still with me and able to still see this. All right, because this was good. This was a good talk. So we're going to jump back into some more of...
That was good. Let me see the episode that came after this. So that was day 11. I want to see the episode that come after this because that was good. That was a good talk. Sitting there listening to that. Hold on, day 11.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it was. But yeah, it was good, Motion Man. We just sitting here watching some old episodes of Expansion Pack because I'm about to take some time off. You might have missed the message. So for the rest of this week, tomorrow there will be no episode of Expansion Pack, but I will be on gaming. And throughout this whole time, I'm gonna be on gaming. So y'all feel free to drop in, tap in. Just, it won't be an Expansion Pack episode. All right. My channel doesn't show my vids. I'm gonna link with you after this. We'll get on a call. We'll get that issue solved for you. You know I got the info. So for the rest of this week, I will be off as far as Expansion Pack goes. So tomorrow at 9 o'clock, there will be no episode of Expansion Pack. I'll probably be on 2K or something. And going forward for the next week, Monday through Friday, there will not be any episodes of Expansion Pack as well. I will be back fresh, brand new topics, brand new things to say, Monday, the 21st of July. So y'all dig in with me and let's go. All right, with that being said, let's rock. All right, I want to watch that episode that came after that one. I did some good talking on that. So yeah, today we just watching some old episodes of Expansion Pack. I'm gonna get one more in there, and then we'll look at maybe a video or two.
Where's the importance?
Maybe I'll just react to my own video.
Competitive spirit.
All right.
Away through.
I remember
Give me a
that
pass,
episode.
boy. A chance to Fabregas it. Brilliant play. It's Schürrle's goal.
Luis Alberto che palla rotta per Zaccagni che poi accelera, sprinta, va verso la porta. Zaccagni 3-0 per la Lazio. Palla illuminante di Luis Alberto.
Yeah.